Welcome back to the Whispering Soul. My name is Nancy Vellante, and I'm an astrologer and certified wellness coach. And today I want to talk about the new moon in Cancer, which will be on July 14th in the Northeast. So check that out to wherever you are in the world. So as I sat quietly this morning, listening to the birds greet the day, I found myself thinking about how rarely life asks us to force our way forward. Interesting, right? Sometimes the greatest transformation doesn't come from doing more, it comes from coming home. Cancer. Inside and out. That is the feeling I keep returning to as we approach this new moon in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon itself, making this one of the most emotionally intuitive lunations of the year. It invites us inward, not to escape the world, but to reconnect with ourselves. It's a culture, our culture, often celebrates productivity, achievement, and certainty. This new moon, though, whispers something entirely different. I'm feeling that this new moon is asking us to slow down, to feel, to listen, and to remember. Cancer rules the fourth house in the zodiac wheel, and that is the foundation of the birth chart. It's our roots, our lineage, our ancestry, literally our home inside and out. How do we take care of ourselves? How do we listen to the inner questions and guidance that is being offered to us through our own soul, our own remembering? Perhaps that's why Cancer is often associated with home. Yet home is much more than a place. It is the feeling of belonging within ourselves. It is the place where we no longer need to prove our worth, explain our emotions, or become someone else to be loved. And that's not easy. That is not easy. I know that we all come here, whatever we've been through in our lives, we're always looking at our worth. We're always trying to explain our emotions, and we're always wanting to be loved. So it's a continuous movement of in and out, expanding and contracting between these understandings of being a human. Many of us have spent years searching for security through relationships, careers, accomplishments, or others' approval. I have a moon in Libra, so I watch that very carefully. I've developed myself in a way that I've tried to come back home because my moon is in the 10th house, so it mirrors that fourth house in Cancer. While these experiences certainly shape our lives, they do. They cannot replace the quiet knowing that lives within us when we look for that, when we embody that, when we accept that. This new moon gently asks, what if the safety you've been searching for has been waiting inside you all along? As the weeks unfold, memories may return. Old emotions may quietly rise to the surface. Familiar patterns may ask for your attention once again as we spiral through the body, the spiraling body of healing. Rather than seeing these moments as setbacks, perhaps we can meet them differently. Perhaps they are invitations, as I always say, invitations to notice the stories we've carried over and over again, because as we become more conscious, they turn, they create a different feeling, and they get less and less. The beliefs we've inherited, the protective layers we've built simply because they helped us survive at one point in our lives. Healing is not about judging these parts of ourselves. It's about bringing those parts of ourselves back into alignment with our true self. And it's also about meeting them with compassion and asking whether they still belong in the life we are creating right here, right now. Every new moon offers us a beginning, a cycle between 28 and 30 days. Not a dramatic beginning, not one that asks to reinvent ourselves overnight, but a quiet beginning, the kind that starts with one honest conversation, one gentle decision, one new way of speaking to ourselves. Maybe that says, I love you. You're okay. I accept that. Let's learn. Because eventually our inner dialogue becomes our outer reality. This particular new moon carries another layer of wisdom, primordial wisdom, the body wisdom, the womb wisdom of the sacred, and I'm going to say both sacred masculine and sacred feminine energies. As the sun and moon come together in Cancer, Mercury forms a challenging aspect with Saturn in Aries. Saturn in Aries ruled by Mars, sacred masculine Mars. Mercury, communication. To me, this feels like a conversation between the heart and the structures we've built around our heart, between the stories we've always believed and the person we are quietly becoming. Sometimes growth feels uncomfortable. We know that. Not because something has gone wrong, but because something true is trying to emerge. This energy reminds us that not every thought deserves our belief. Not every fear deserves the final word, that it's truth. Sometimes the most courageous thing we can do is pause before reacting, listen before speaking. And I'm speaking about the signature Mercury forming that aspect to Saturn and Aries. Sometimes the most invisible kind of feelings become the most important. And they allow us to become curious about the stories running beneath our lives, beneath the surface. Are they still true? Or have they simply become familiar? Such a big difference there. These are beautiful questions to sit with under this new moon. Can I be more honest with myself without having to run away or suppress? Can I allow vulnerability to become a source of strength, resilience, instead of something I need to protect? Sometimes I feel that vulnerability is within itself protection with the consciousness of connecting it to strength, resilience. Can I trust my intuition enough to take one small step toward the life my heart already recognizes? Because evolution rarely arrives all at once. It unfolds quietly, choice by choice, because it is our choice, breath by breath, moment by moment. Before we close, I'd like to leave you with a few gentle practices for this new moon in Cancer. It's soft, it's gentle, but it's powerful. And I've said this in a couple of my podcasts that have to do around cancer. She's powerful. She is the womb. She is where we're created, where we create, where we heal, where we get to know thyself. Create a quiet space this week and ask yourself, what truly makes me feel at home within myself? For me, right now, it's gardening, cooking. Notice one emotional habit that you're ready to release, not through criticism, but through compassion. For me, that would be validation. And that's hard. I'm really being very honest. When you put yourself out in the world, we all want to be validated, but we have to have the strength to know that not everybody is going to resonate with what you say or what you do, but you will find your niche. And finally, plant one intention that nourishes your emotional well-being. It doesn't have to be extraordinary. Small, loving choices, repeated over time, create extraordinary transformation. As always, remember, from my heart to yours, the stars don't tell us who to become. They simply illuminate the sky as we remember who we have always been. Thank you so much for spending time with me today in this very gentle new moon that we're going to be experiencing. Until next time, continue listening for the whispers. They have always known their way home. And one last thing, the stars don't decide your destiny. They simply illuminate the sky as you remember your own light. Many blessings to you wherever you are in the world, night or day.